Welcome back to Dusting History. I've got a quick one today. This was sent in to me by a friend of mine, Jane, and not only does this picture have a large crack or a crease down the center, somebody has taken a pen and colored in under this woman's chin. So I'm going to try and repair that today with generative fill. So the first thing I'm going to address really quickly is that large crack or crease down the center of the frame. Now, using the remove tool, sometimes you get a better result if you don't do what I'm doing here, which is do bit by bit like this, because you can start to introduce artifacting. So there's a little checkbox up here which allows me to actually paint all the strokes I want to paint with much more detail without worrying about, as soon as I let go of the brush, it's going to just do its thing. And this will allow me to spend some time with brushes of various sizes just painting more closely just that little area that I want to remove, as well as some other little areas, and I can sort of do this and hit it all in one go. And because I've taken a bit of care with the brush strokes, it's going to give me a cleaner result. So once I'm happy with that, I can hit the little tick box up the top, and that should take care of that scratch in one go. Now you can see there's a faint sense of a line, and the way I'll get rid of that is do a couple of cross strokes across the image, a little bit of left and right through her hair. You can kind of see there's a slightly dull patch there that I'm addressing there with some diagonals, and that just fools the eye a little bit and creates a few diagonal strands of hair through that line. So this image is pretty clean, so I'm not going to spend too long cleaning up the tiny little dots and spots, but may as well get them all on here, including this pale little diagonal edge there on the corner of the frame. Okay, on to addressing the pen scribble under the lady's chin. So I'm going to just mark here an area, and you'll see if I type the word neck, I'm going to let generative fill have a go. I found that if I don't write a word like that, sometimes it balks and thinks I'm doing something that's outside the boundaries of its safe practices. It'll actually stop me from working this way. So saying neck, it gives the AI an idea that I'm actually doing something in a safe area of a human body. And look, there you go. I took the word neck out, and straight away it contravened its guidelines. Unfortunately, when you do say neck, you get a lot of earrings. So next I've tried the word chin, and you can see by writing chin, I didn't get the earrings, but I did get some nice hair and some nice choices there. So I'm going to pick one that's appropriate, keep the word chin in my little prompt box, and try the other side. And then straight away you can see I've got some really good viable options there. I like that one quite a bit. Okay, so that's repaired. Next I'm going to address the fact that there's this kind of blown out flash on the right hand side of the image. So putting a levels adjustment layer in, I'm going to set that to something quite dark, and in the mask build a gradient that masks that effect of that levels adjustment. And looking at the wood in the background, trying to find a luminance that roughly matches. I don't want to get that spot on the boy's head too dark. It feels like it's a bit of a black puddle, but there's not a ton of detail in there, so I'm just going to fiddle with my levels a bit now that I have that gradient in place and find something that I think feels right. Now I'm going to duplicate that adjustment layer and the image I was working on there. I will select them both, drag them down to a new layer which duplicates them, merge those together into a single image, and then under my filters I'm going to Topaz Photo AI, which is a separate program that you can shell out to from Photoshop. And from inside this app, I'm going to just allow it to sharpen the image a little and also do a tiny bit of face correction just to try and sharpen up their features a bit. And as you can see, if I slide left and right, it's not amazingly sharp, I'm not pushing it too far, but I am just playing around a bit trying to find what I think is a pleasing level of sharpness without it looking like really creepy sharp. Alright, lastly I'm going to add a color balance adjustment layer and just start sliding the colors around a little and trying to find a slightly more pleasing, more natural palette. There's a little bit of a disparity between the color of the boy and the color of his mother, just in terms of her being warmer and him looking a little greener. So I won't take you all the way through this process, but using masks and trial and error and a little bit of tweaking here and there, I eventually got to somewhere pretty pleasing, I think. So a couple of final little touch-ups now that I have that color balanced into an area that I like, and that is done. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you learned something. I always learn something doing this work. Glad to have you along. I'll see you on the next one. Thanks.